It's story time. It's story time. Come on, gather around because it's story time. Welcome to the story time with me. We're gonna read books. We're gonna have some laughs. We're gonna smile today. We're gonna have a lot of laughs because it's story time with Nina. Story time with Nina. Story time with Nina. Story time with Nina.
Hello, and welcome to a very special and live story time with me. I'm so excited to be here. My phone's ringing. It's live. You can't plan this. No, you cannot. I'm so excited to be here right now in this moment to share a very special story with you. Now, before we get started, my name is Nina. What is yours? It has been so long since we've seen each other. What's your name? Tell me your names. Hello, Olivia, Papa, and Daddy. I love that book. I love that book, and I love you in Canada. Thank you for being here. Hi, Jesse and Seneca from New York. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for visiting me. We're all over the world, but we're here together, and look at us being safe and distant and having a wonderful time. Hello, Leo from Napa. It's so nice to see you here. Thank you for being here. Oh, and you love my picture eyes. Oh, you love my picture eyes makeup. Thank you so much, Leo. I love that you love this story. And you love my picture eyes, and you love JJ. Hello, Karen from Bristol, England. How are you? I hope you're well. Hello, Keith from Dallas, Texas. Thank you for being here. We're so thrilled that you're here and joining us today for this very special story time. Oh, wow. And hello, Shay Hazard from North Dakota. Wow, hello. Thank you for joining me. This is so much fun. I can't believe there's people from here from all over. Hello, Alicia from Maine. Thank you for being here. How is everything going on? I hope everything is well with you. Who else is here? You know, I have to tell you, in honor of story time today, I took it very seriously. First time back after Halloween, and we're celebrating a story. I wanted to bring the fun. I wanted to bring the energy. I also wanted to bring the smell. Now, I know we're virtual, but Miss Nina today decided to wear a very special perfume. What do you think Nina smells like? Be nice. But what do you think Nina smells like? It smells like, I heard someone say peanut butter. And sometimes I do smell like peanut butter. Isn't that silly? Sometimes I also smell like flowers. Yes, that's correct. Sometimes I also smell like flowers. And so lavender, I smell a little bit like lavender because my hair is lavendery and purpley, but I also smell that way. What do you imagine I smell like? I like peanut butter. That is a very good answer. Now, today we are celebrating Disney Frozen perfume. That is correct. Sometimes I do smell like Disney Frozen perfume. I do. Bacon. That is true, Steve. I smell like bacon sometimes. I can't help it. I wear it as deodorant. Cinnamon and sugar just in time for the holidays. That's correct. Cinnamon and sugar smell delicious too. Cocoa butter, rub it all over. And cotton candy. Let's get to my new perfume. It is peanut butter, bacon, cocoa butter, cotton candy. Available now only at Target. Just kidding. But so today I want to say this. We have a lot in store for you today as our special live episode continues and we celebrate a new president-elect. That's right. Today's story is Joey, the story of Joe Biden, our president-elect, as written by the soon-to-be First Lady, Dr. Joe Biden. Now, before we get to this, of course, we always have letters that start our stories. Now, I wonder what today's letter could be. I don't know, but I bet there's a song about it. Hit it, JJ!
Hey kids, you know what's even more fun than the alphabet? The drag alphabet! I need your help to sing it with me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! A is for absolutely, B is for busted, C is for clock that mug, and D is for divine health. E is for everything, and F is for fierceness. G is for get 'em girl, and H comes before I. J is for Jush, K is for Kiki, L is for let 'em have it, M is for mug, and N of course is for Nina. O is for oak, and P is for painting, Q is for queen, and R is for Rue, and S is for Shantae, you stay. T is for throwing shade, and U give me life, girl. Beat ba ba boom like W work, and X is for extra, the most. Y is for Yaz, Z is for Jaja. This is the end, let's all do the conga.
Da 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 da. J. J is our letter of the day, and you know what? J is, like we learned in our song, J is for Jush, but it's also for jelly. Now, I like to get ready to start every adventure before we crack open a book, and I like to make sure everyone's comfortable at home. So make sure that you have a snack and a sippy. My favorite sippy is like a water and or like a juice. My favorite juice, if you really want to know, is apple. But I like juices, I like snacks, and I like to get ready to tell the stories with a little comfort. So settle in, make sure you're ready to go as we tell the story of Joey. The story of Joe Biden, our soon-to-be President of the United States. So, if you're ready, let us go on this adventure. Joey, the story of Joe Biden, as written by Dr. Joe Biden, soon-to-be First Lady. Give me the ball! At 8 years old, Joey Biden was always ready for the ball. It didn't matter if he was the smallest boy on the team. No, baseball, football, basketball, whatever. No one was more competitive than Joey Biden. One day he ran into a group of older boys playing football in the alley. "You can't catch me," he taunted. He was right. They couldn't. So they welcomed him into their game. And look, that's something we should do, right? We should all be welcoming of everybody and welcome them if they want to play the game. Come play the game. Let's go. Page turn. Everything was a contest to Joey and his three buddies, Charlie, Larry, and Tommy. It could be as ordinary as walking down the streets of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Which boy could walk the fastest? But Joey was also a peacemaker who noticed that he and other kids had a lot in common. He often found himself the leader in a club or when playing Fort. Do you play Fort at home? It's one of my favorite games. Sometimes I take some pillows from the couch and I build it up and I take some pillows off of my mom's favorite chair and I put it over there. And I take a blanket, put it, you get the gist. That's Fort. Even at age 8, he looked out for others. When his friend's father left for a week-long fishing trip, Joey went to visit his friend's mom. He promised to take care of her while her husband was away. After getting his own mother's permission, he stayed the whole week, making sure doors and windows were locked at night. Now, he and his buddies romped through the neighborhoods with Joey's faithful dogs, a beagle, Snoopy. That's funny because Snoopy's actually a beagle. Get out of here, Joey Biden. You're funny. And a German shepherd named King. They pooled their pennies together and dropped in at the candy store where the owner kept a pet monkey. What? Only in Scranton. They headed to the theater for a double feature, a Western, maybe, or even a Tarzan movie. Tarzan was very popular back then. On the way home, they reenacted thrilling scenes, hopping from rooftop to rooftop of the garages. Or sometimes they even pretended the ground was a seething swamp. Touch it and you die, eaten by alligators, they screamed. Do you play Swamp or Hot Lava? I used to play that all the time. It's actually one of my favorite games to play with my dogs. Like, look out, Edgar, it's hot lava! Ah! Page turn. Bing! Joey wouldn't dream of missing a water balloon fight or a snowball battle. Always eager to prove he had guts, he never refused a dare, even when it was dangerous. He climbed atop a mountain of still burning coal, for example. He raced along the pipes high above a river. Once he grabbed a heavy rope and swung over a construction site, imitating Tarzan without a net, like he'd seen in the movies. All the neighborhood kids competed to see who could climb the flagpole in the football field. The feat was impossible. A slippery pole swayed in the wind. But you know what? Only one kid made it to the top, and that was Joey Biden. And look at him swinging on that right above all of those construction workers. That Joey Biden, he is really crazy. And I like it. Now, his friends were always welcome at the Biden house. All the kids loved Joey's mom, Mrs. Biden, and she gave them confidence. To Joey, she would say, "Bravery resides in every heart, and yours is fierce and clear." She said, "Yes, Joey, yours is fierce and clear, Joey, yes." His father worked several jobs to keep the family going. He too always encouraged Joey. "Everyone stumbles," he said, "but the most important thing is that whatever happens, get up. Get up." That's a really important lesson. I think we should take a pause out and remind ourselves of anytime you might fall, the most important thing you can do is get up. Now, family fortunes were up and down. To find work, Mr. Biden had to move the family from Scranton to eventually Delaware. Moving could be difficult, but Joey was lucky to have his brothers, Jim and Frank, and his sister, Valerie, who was also his best friend. And look at that. The family's packing up the stuff and loading it in the truck with the dogs watching. Those dogs, sure, Snoopy and King, they are really loyal. Aren't they awesome? Now, Joey and Val were so close that they could finish each other's sentences. As soon as she was old enough, he'd say to Val, "Okay, hop on." He'd scoop her up on his bike handlebars and take her to any playground she wanted to go. He taught her all his best sports moves and even urged her to keep up with him and his buddies. Look at what a great big brother Joey is with the dogs running. There's King and Snoopy running with Joey and Valerie. This is great. They're on an adventure. They're going, shoo. They're like on the bike. Or wait, the bike goes this way. Shoo. The bike goes, here we go. Wait, where are they going? Shoo. And the dogs are like, oh. And Joey was a super supportive brother. In fact, as the oldest, Joey took the lead with his siblings. He, Val, and their two younger brothers made a deal with their parents. The kids could settle their own arguments among themselves, closing the door until they resolved them. Well, what a wonderful strategy. You can, if you're going to fight, maybe you should resolve it with one another. I hope he can teach us that in January. Now, the whole family had a rule. If you said, "I give you my word as a Biden," it meant you were telling the absolute truth. Often after dinner, Joey biked down to the drugstore to get everyone a half-gallon of vanilla ice cream to eat while watching Lassie and their other favorite shows on television. And look at them sitting around watching Lassie. That's my Lassie. Lassie. And like even Snoopy's watching Lassie. That's so fun. Snoopy is awesome. Do you have a dog at home or a cat or a pet? Tell me about it in the comments. I'd love to hear about your pets as we finish up this wonderful story about Joey Biden. Now, home was a place for family and for learning. His uncle sat Joey down with the newspaper editorial pages and discussed the latest news. Sunday was always family church day. After Mass, the grown-ups sat around the kitchen table to talk politics and sports. And Joey did too. That's a great picture. Do you know, where's Snoopy at? Do you see Snoopy in the picture as they're talking about politics and sports at the table? Where's Snoopy? Oh my gosh, what's that? Yes, you're right. He's under the table. You're right. You saw him. Someone out there has really good eyes. I could hear you too through the monitor. That's amazing. Now, school was where the bullies were. Joey's mind was always sharp and fast, but talking was sometimes really difficult. You see, he stuttered. The words just would not come out smoothly. Joey, it's because you're so bright, his mother would tell him. You can't get the thoughts out quickly enough. But kids made fun of him with cruel nicknames. They assumed he wasn't smart. Joey felt incredibly frustrated, but he remembered his father's words. What were they? Say it with me. Get up. Get up. Have you ever had someone call you names at school? Let's see what happens to Joey. Instead of showing how hurt he felt, he fought with boys who teased him. And he also defended others from bullies, keeping an eye out for kids who were being made fun of. He took heart from his mother's words. Remember, Joey, you're a Biden. Nobody is better than you. You're not better than anyone else. But nobody is any better than you. Joey started thinking of ways to help himself talk more smoothly. Reading out loud in class was a big fear for Joey. When he knew his turn was coming, he took care to count the desks in advance and figure out which passage he'd be called on to recite. Then he would memorize it, practicing when to pause, pretending that he was reading out loud. He noticed that planning ahead helped him. That's a really good strategy. Planning ahead. Huh. As a paper boy delivering the newspapers, he knew which neighbors along his route were fans of the Yankees. So before he went to collect payment, he would check the sports pages so he could say something about the latest game. He'd be like, look at him checking the page. He'd be like, oh, look, I'm reading the newspaper. He even tried the famous marble trick he'd read about from ancient Greek philosophers. What's this trick? Let's find out. One day, he took 10 pebbles from a neighbor's garden, put them in his mouth, and practiced speaking, hoping to strengthen his muscles. He had to stop when he realized he was more likely to swallow the pebbles than anything. Oh, don't try that trick at home. Yikes. You can see him practicing the marble trick. Look at that. I'm going to put these pebbles in my mouth. But you almost swallow them. That's how you choke. So don't do that trick. That's not a good idea. Oh, this looks fun. Look at this page. This is really good. Oh, Joey went to Catholic school where nuns were the teachers. They taught math and history, and of course, also values like playing fair, helping others, and being honest. Nuns even played baseball with him. Look at that nun getting ready up at bat. They did everything to encourage him. They stood up for him when he was bullied, and they offered ideas to help him with his speech. One nun suggested putting a sing-song rhythm to his words. So in his bedroom, Joey began memorizing long passages of Irish poems. When holding a flashlight under his chin in front of the mirror, he recited poetry out loud, studying the movements of his face, trying to stop his muscles from tensing up. Hours of practice seemed to help. Look at that. I do love this picture of the nun playing baseball. That's awesome. And another really great lesson on this page, hours of practice always do, what is it? Make perfect. That's a really good saying. I like that. So after his father got a better job and the family moved to Claymont, Delaware, Joey looked ahead, or actually across the street. His deepest wish was to attend the Catholic high school overlooking the Delaware River. This was a stately marble building he could see from afar, the sunlight dancing off its 200 windows. Yes, 200 windows. But his family couldn't afford the tuition, so he turned his dream into a reality by applying for a work-study program. He spent summers painting the school's iron fences and pulling weeds in the formal gardens. Yes, not just the gardens, honey, the formal gardens. And he washed those windows, all 200 of them, with vinegar and water, drying them with newspapers. And there he is. Joey's on that ladder. He's like, I'm on the ladder. I'm going to take 5 minutes. While in high school, he grew a whole foot taller. No longer Joey, but Joe. A football and basketball star, he didn't have to say, "Give me the ball!" No. He'd even earned this new nickname of Hands for his wizardly ability to catch a ball. In his senior year, he led his football team to an undefeated season, even dramatically scoring the last touchdown himself. Dramatically scoring the last touchdown. Woo! He was a leader off the field as well. Elected class president during his junior and senior years. You go, Joe! Woo! The football team always went to the local diner for hamburgers after the games. When the owner refused to let his African-American teammate order with the rest of the athletes, Joe led the whole team to leave in protest. That is remarkable. At his high school graduation, he gave the welcome to parents and friends without a hitch. If you put your mind to something, there is nothing you can't do, he said, having overcome his stutter. Let me read that again so you hear it. If you put your mind to something, there's nothing you can't do. Remember that at home. If you put your mind to something, there's nothing you can't do. Not only did he lose his fear of public speaking, he also discovered that he liked it. He wanted to communicate and he looked for opportunities to do more. "Give me the ball," he said. He was so inspired by the leaders of the day who were changing the country. Leaders like John F. Kennedy, who said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Joe's dream of his own future took shape of a life in public service. He looked up biographies of those elected to the United States Congress, those who made laws and served the people. He didn't know any other Biden who had gone to college, but it would clearly be his next step. He went on to the University of Delaware, where he was promptly elected president of his freshman class. And there is Joe Biden speaking at a graduation ceremony. You know what? He spent his summer as the only white lifeguard at a pool in an all-black neighborhood. That was the time of segregation and struggle for civil rights. While playing basketball with the other lifeguards, Joe learned firsthand about the struggles of Black America. And here's Joe playing basketball. I think this is also a great opportunity and lesson for all of us to be open to talking to people and learning about other people who might not be just like you. I think that's very valuable. And Joe Biden did that very early in his life during civil rights and segregation. It's so very important to learn and to be able to grow. This is such a valuable lesson. After graduating from law school, Joe had things to say. Maybe he was just a regular guy, not rich, not privileged, but he dreamed big and saw himself as a leader. The best Biden I can be. "Give me the ball," he said. Only now, instead of sports, it was politics. In 1972, he launched an unlikely quest to become a senator from Delaware and serve in Congress. He was only 29. You couldn't even become a senator until you were 30. Holy cow. But you know what? His sister Valerie managed his campaign and his whole family helped while he threw himself into speaking with strength about making people's lives better. And look at all of these people campaigning for Joe and in a line holding Joe's sign, being a part of this campaign and this movement to get Joe Biden elected to the Senate. Amazing. Give me the ball. Not a real ball, but a job in politics. And voters did. Against all the odds, Joe became one of the youngest people ever elected to the United States Senate. As a senator, he was one of 100 people who handled serious responsibilities like voting on what laws the United States should have. He was powerful and respected, always voted, most liked, and he was reelected 5 times. Every day, he commuted by train from Washington back and forth to his family in Delaware. The absolute most important thing is your family, he always told those who worked with him. And you can see him on the train back and forth from Washington to Delaware, chatting with the kid in front of him and working away and just getting ready for the workday, or maybe even heading home, but still working. Page turn. After more than 3 decades of serving his country in the Senate, he was chosen by Barack Obama to run as his vice president. They won, energizing the nation. Now Joe was speaking more than just about anyone, representing White House policies around the country and in 50 countries around the world. He served 8 years with distinction, leading President Obama to call him the best vice president America has ever had. And in this illustration, he's being awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It's like the highest honor you can get. It's a really big deal. It's a huge deal. It's a big deal. And there he is. Joe's getting up with a big deal. That's cool. Do you dream one day of maybe receiving that award? Oh, takes a lot of work. After huddling with his family, he announced in 2019 that he would run for president of the United States. With his decades of experience, he called the next election a battle for the soul of America. And Joe Biden was ready to fight it. Give me the ball! And I'm proud to say, as I turn the page with Joe and his wife, Dr. Joe Biden, in this picture, not only did he run for president, Mr. Joe Biden is now former Vice President Joe Biden is now President-elect Joe Biden, who will soon be inaugurated on January 20th, 2021 at high noon as the next president of the United States. Isn't that a wonderful story? Talk about someone who had a lot of obstacles put in his way, and he was able to achieve quite a bit. Oh, wow. Hello, President-elect Biden. And hello, soon-to-be First Lady Jill Biden. Look at these fun family scrapbook photos of Joe and his family. It's really great. You know, you can set out and be whatever you want to be. That's the truth of the whole matter. Joe Biden had a lot of obstacles put in his way, and he has achieved every dream with a lot of practice, hard work, and perseverance. And he's helped a lot of people along the way. So as we celebrate our election process and our wonderful democracy that's set forth in the Constitution, which is a really great document that one day we'll share here on Storytime with Nina, but he is living the American dream. Congratulations, President-elect Joe Biden. And I'm so glad to be back with another wonderful episode of Storytime here with you live. How y'all doing at home? I hope you're doing good. Great. Now, before we go, because it's been so long since we've done a live episode, I thought I would take this opportunity to maybe say thank you for joining me. And know that starting next week, we have a whole round of fun just for you going into the holiday season, where we'll be marking a season of gratitude and gratefulness starting Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. We've got wonderful books coming up. We will also start to celebrate the season of generosity and giving in the holiday season. And we'll mark it both with books celebrating and commemorating Hanukkah, as well as books celebrating and commemorating Christmas, as well as many other stories during this wonderful time of year where we all can celebrate these wonderful traditions and holidays that make us all so wonderful and unique, and continuing the story that is so remarkable that you only have so much of this life to live when you choose to live it. Hopefully you do that. Now, before we go, I want to remind you, these times are tough, and I wrote a song just about it. It's called I Am Enough, but I know that wherever you are, things probably are looking a little weird right now, right? It's looking a little scary. Don't let that scare you. We're all in this together. So I will say you should... Andrew's iPad. You should do this.
Wash your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Wash your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Wash your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Wash your hands. Grab some soap, do-do-do-do-do. Grab some soap, do-do-do-do-do. Grab some soap.
Grab that soap.
Grab some soap.
Okay.
Rub your hands.
Rub them together with water.
Rub your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Rub your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Rub your hands.
That's right.
Rinse your hands.
Rinse them off, rinse them off.
Rinse your
Gotta wash your hands, kids.
Rinse your hands.
Rinse them off.
Rinse your hands. Dry your hands. dry your hands. What else can we do?
Tell me!
Cover your sneeze. Cover your sneeze. Cover your sneeze. Cover your sneeze. Pop into your elbow. Pop into your elbow. Pop into your elbow. Pop into your elbow. Safe and last.
Please remember, wash your hands, wear a mask, stay safe so we can all get back together soon and have story times in person, because that's the goal. I just cannot thank you all I can't thank you enough for being here and celebrating with me today and the story of Joe Biden. You all are so wonderful. Thank you, Krista. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to all the big kids who allow the little ones to be here and hear these stories and celebrate with me. We have a full list of stories on my YouTube channel. Go visit them now. Some of my favorite stories that I encourage you to click on are books like I Am Enough by Grace Byers, one of my very favorites. Whereas there's a whole birthday series of Disney books that I really love, like the stories of some incredible rides, and most importantly, stories that celebrate you. But thank you for being here. Remember, as I always say, it's more than a tagline, it is a motto. And it's a mantra for me. So one of the biggest things we can do is we can make sure that we live our lives fully and loudly. So go big. Don't be afraid to be kind. We need it so desperately right now. And always remember, when you go out into the world or even at home, to always be you. You've got one life to live. I hope you make it as colorful and bold and beautiful as possible. Thank you for joining me today on another very special story time with Nina. I can't wait to see you next week for an all-new, brand-new episode on Tuesday. I'll see you then.
You are wonderful, you're one of a kind, like a lucky star. You light up my life, so keep on smiling, keep on shining. Go big, be kind, be you. Now sing this to someone you love, someone you think is very special. You are wonderful, you're one of a kind, like a lucky star. You light up my life, so keep on smiling, keep on shining. Go big, be kind, be you. Anytime you're feeling sad and blue, remember you're special, 'cause there's only one you. You are wonderful, you're one of a kind, like a lucky star. You light up my life, so keep on smiling, keep on shining. Go big, be kind, be you. Thank you for singing with me, and always remember just how special you really are. Go big, be kind, be you. Go big, be kind, be you. La 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 la. 'Cause drag is magic. Drag is for you, and drag is for me. Drag is for everyone. Drag is cool, drag is fun.